Good evening, everyone. So glad that you could join us again this evening for tonight's episode of An Evening of Poetry. This with Jessica Care Moore. Getting a couple of minutes started, a couple of minutes late today. Just had a couple of things to work out behind the scenes, but we are here and glad that you are here to join us as well. So I hope everybody is having a good night tonight. I know I'm very excited about having our special guest on, as she has been one of my faves for quite a while. I'm sure for many of you as well. So without any further delay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest so we can go ahead and get this thing popping. So hope everyone is doing good this evening. Hope you're all doing great. So about tonight's guest. Jessica Moore is an internationally renowned poet and proud Detroit native. She is a 2018 Joyce Award winner, 2016 Kresge Live Arts Fellow, recipient of the 2013 Elaine Locke Award, 2015 NAACP Great Expectations Awardee, Harvard Black Men's Forum Woman of the Year winner, and the Poet Laureate of Courageous Conversations. She is the executive producer and founder of the 15-year-old rock and roll concert and empowerment weekend Black Women Rock, and the founder of the literacy-driven Just Care More Foundation. As a strong believer in institution building, she created More Black Press Publishing in 1997 and began publishing her peers, Saul Williams, Asha Bandel, Danny Simmons, and New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka. She is an educator and strong advocate for youth and women's voices. Moore is the author of The Words Don't Fit in My Mouth, The Alphabet versus the Ghetto, God is Not an American, Sunlight Through the Bullet Holes, and We Want Our Bodies Back, which is her latest work that we'll be discussing this evening. Her full-scale theatrical work, Salt City, a techno-choreo poem, premiered in Detroit in 2019 and is directed by Aku Kadogo, chair of the Department of Theater and Performance at Spelman College. Moore has read her work and lent her powerful voice to many causes all over the world, including UN World AIDS Day NYC, Shanghai's Iron Mike competition, and the Concrete and Grass Music Festival, and she has joined poets from around the world at the International Flup Literary Festival in Rio de Janeiro. Her poetry performances have graced the stages all over South Africa, the Apollo Theater, Carnegie Hall, New York's Lincoln Center, the Republic in Ghana, and the London Institute of Contemporary Arts. Moore and her young poet son King toured Ghana, conducting workshops and reading poems throughout the country. Her critically acclaimed jazz soul album, Black Tea, The Legend of Jesse James, was released by MC Talib Kweli's Javadi Media label. The poet captivated a national audience in the 90s when she won the legendary It's Showtime at the Apollo competition, a record-breaking 5 times in a row with a poem. Moore's poetry and voice are prominently featured on the 4th floor of the Smithsonian's new National Museum of African American History and Culture. She is the proud mommy of 12-year-old poet and musician King Thomas Moore and 24-year-old Earth son Omari Jazz. So without any further delay, we're going to go ahead and bring on this spectacular guest, Jessica Care Moore.
Hi, Marcy.
Welcome.
I'm glad we figured it out so I can be here.
Oh, yes.
That bio is way too long. I'm gonna find
but it's well worth it to share all of the things that you have done because you are a spectacular voice in the world, and I'm just considered an honor to even have you here with us today. So thank you so much.
It's got to be the coolest club on Facebook. I mean, it was funny that I had kind of gotten off Facebook a bit.
Wow.
Now I am on Facebook more than I ever thought I'd ever be. So
all right.
it's good to
Yes.
connect with groups like this because they're much more relevant than some of the other ones, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have some people saying they're excited about tonight. They're excited to be here, saying hello.
See all of you. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
I put something in the feed like, hey, I'm here. I'm happy to
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And we had a little bit of a difficulty, but we figured it out, as you said. So we are here and ready to rock and roll.
So are you gonna stay with me as I read, or do you?
Yes, I can stay with you, so I can just share thoughts or ask questions or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
So before we do get into it, I have just a couple of questions that I want to ask, just kind of as point of introduction into the work, and then we'll get into the work itself. So now, as we mentioned by reading your bio, you've done a lot. Yes, I do. I actually have it. I've actually read it.
Thank you.
So we've had the opportunity to watch your evolution as an artist since your historic rise, at least nationally, on Showtime at the Apollo, and you've launched your own publishing company, created Black Women Rock. You've just so many wonderful things. So when did you, as really a multifaceted artist, when did you really start realizing that you had creative gifts?
I mean, like my son is 13, and he did a reading today online for you, for what is it called? Oh my gosh, I forgot. It's leaving me right now, but I'll remember it. But it's for youth organization out of Dallas, Texas. So, and he was writing around 8 or 9. I was writing early. I didn't know I was special or had some gifts. It wasn't until I started reading poetry out loud. My first poem out loud was my father's funeral in 1994. I wrote a poem called Breathe, and I was just writing a poem for my daddy. And the reception I got at the funeral from my father was extraordinary. I mean, my uncles came up to me and said, well, can you have a copy of that? Or can we buy copies of your poem? And I had never had a reaction to a poem like that. And it was such a personal poem that I just wrote for my daddy the morning of the funeral. And it ended up in my first book. And I put my father in the cover of The Words Don't Fit in My Mouth. So I think it wasn't until, I became a popular poet in Detroit first. In Detroit, we didn't have any little fancy cafes and stuff. So I was doing poems hair shows, at clubs, at hip hop spots, any open mic, any place I can get my voice out there. I was a really rowdy activist and was becoming an artist. But I really honed my craft and really became a full-time artist when I moved to Brooklyn. And I immersed myself in the poetry scene there. And I went to New York looking for people I read in books. Not just the elders I had read, like Sonia Sanchez and Mary Baraka, and those people ended up becoming my friends, which is something I never could dream of as a little poet, right? Became my mentors, my friends, people I was close to. But I went looking for Willie Perdomo and Kevin Powell and Raz Baraka and Asha Bandeli, Tracy Morris, Reggie Gaines. I was looking in the New Eurekan Poetry Aloud anthology, and I was just checking off names. I was like, I'm about to make all these people my friends.
Right.
And they are, they are. Like, I found them, sis. Like, I went and found these people. They probably think I'm a crazy person. But I found them, and I ended up publishing a few of them.
Right.
So I don't know. I think, I was in New York City. I hadn't moved there yet. And I was on 125th Street. I had just visited The Last Poets. I'd opened for The Last Poets. Abiodun and Hassan are two of my mentors and my babas who've been very close to me my entire career. And so they caught me real early. So I hadn't even moved to New York. I'm open for them. They said, you ever come to New York, you call us. So I went to New York and I called them for 125th Street. But I auditioned for a Sony Music talent show on that street while I was just visiting New York City. I was there to see my cousin Alexis graduate from NYU and was supposed to go back home. I ended up auditioning for this thing on the street on 125th Street. And I did the poems I've been doing in Detroit. And that New York City audience in Harlem, they just the claps were so loud in this little tent. I was like, what is happening to my life right now? I hadn't really done an audience that was that receptive. Right. What I was talking about. And so, just radical, loud, Black, unapologetically Black from Detroit. So I fit right into Harlem quickly. And that made me go, well, maybe I need to come here and get a bigger audience. And I went home right after that trip, and I packed up my Ford pickup truck, had a purple pickup truck, and I drove in and I moved into a share with a Jamaican sister, something I'd never done before. And I immersed myself in the poetry scene, and I found lifelong friends there. And I found an artistic voice that I thought was just supposed to be this radical activist political voice that turned into an artist, that turned into language was my power. And I just cultivated my craft. And We Want Our Bodies Back is my fifth book. It's the first on HarperCollins. It's the first on Amistad, on a major press, because I started More Black Press in 1997, and I started publishing everybody. So I became a young publisher. The same time I became a well-known poet. And so it's been a deep journey. It really is. I mean, for HarperCollins, I'm the first Black woman poet since Gwendolyn Brooks. So it's a big deal, right?
That is a big deal.
And then my book gonna come out during the pandemic.
Right.
Like you still got the book, and I had an incredible tour, because I've been doing this 25 years. And so I set up my own tour. I set up all these appearances to be, because I want to be in front of people. It's nice to hear chats and talk on screens, but I'm so zoomed out and StreamYard and Facebook Live. I cannot wait to touch it. I'm gonna go crazy when I get in front of an audience. I'm like, whoo! I probably will cry, to be honest. So it's been a beautiful journey, but We Want Our Bodies Back is my most seasoned, like well-crafted collection. Yeah, okay. I took my time with it. I could have published it myself, but I knew it was good. I said, "This is," and it was good. I wanted young girls. I want young Black girls to get it. So I didn't want them to have to find me. Like, sisters like us, we know how to go navigate and go dig, but our younger people, not so good. So I needed high school and the college girls and people in general to be able to have access to the book. So HarperCollins, they've been really supportive. Amistad's been great. They've been really supportive. And we've been pushing. And so, I can't talk right now. I'm on a call. It's hard to tell people, like, I can't.
Right. Like, not right now.
Turn my phone off so they can't call me. And so, yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, but I'm very proud of these poems, I have beautiful blurs from Tracy K. Smith, the U.S. Poet Laureate, and Talib blurred the book, Boots Riley, who did Sorry to Bother You, my Detroit brother. He's actually from Detroit. Blurred the book. I've known him for a long time. He was with the coup, and he's a comrade and an activist. I mean, I've done a lot of work on the ground as an activist still, though, but still as an artist, still on the ground in Ferguson. If you read the book, then the piece in Ferguson, I was with Rosa Clemente and Tyler Kweli and the Peace Poets, and our friend Seth were all in Ferguson together, and it was traumatizing. And it took me a minute I had to go home before I cried about it, and then I wrote about it. And I can't breathe. I mean, it's a lot for me to even read that poem. It's heavy. So, yeah, I'm happy to be in these spaces sharing the work. I'm in Detroit. Detroit is a very sad place right now. We're trying to push through with the resilience, but we're a Black community here, and we've gotten hit very, very hard by COVID-19.
Yes.
And so this has been helping me cope.
That's good.
Yeah, because it's a lot. We're a Black community. We Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. We all know each other.
Right.
It ain't like it's a big city, but it's not. And so, I know everybody. And so I've lost friends. My friends have lost family. It's very surreal time to be here. So this is the joy. These are the bits of joy that you find, being able to connect with people, read some poems, and feel like you're giving in your way as an artist to the community at large that really does need art. Like, I need to hear music too. I need to hear somebody other than myself. I heard myself so much. But it is nice to connect. And so I'm just, thank you for talking to me.
Oh, no problem.
I just get to reading your poems. I'm like, okay.
Well, I had to talk to you, and we are going to get ready to dive into the book. But before, and you've kind of answered one of my questions already, so that's good. But I have to tell you, because I have read the book already, and I did not tell you this in advance, but I actually have a strong Detroit connection. My grandmother was born there. My dad lived there he passed away a couple of years ago, but he lived there for about 30 years. And I actually lived there for 10 years before I moved to Georgia.
When did you live here? Was I here?
You probably were for at least part of the time. I was there from like 1998 to 2008.
Oh no, yeah, that I had just come home.
Okay.
Yeah, I got home with King. He's 14. I came home at the beginning of 2007.
Okay. So I was getting ready to leave as you were just coming back home. But
yeah, I lived at the Lost and Merchant Road downtown.
Okay.
But I had a nervous breakdown in style.
Well, I was telling my mom when I read your poems, I had to like put the book down because I started crying because so many of my memories about Detroit pertain to my dad and the time that I lived there. And just a lot of the memories of being there.
I'm a daddy's girl. If you read this book, I'm all about my daddy.
Yes. So I was just like, Lord, help me get through it. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I might do bullet holes. This one you'll appreciate as well.
Okay.
This is like a love poem to Detroit for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely get that one as well. Yeah. So without any further delay, we've talked about it. We can go ahead and get into it and let the people hear what all the excitement is about.
Oh my goodness.
Your new book.
Thank you. So I'm going to start with a poem. I used to be a roller coaster girl. And this is a poem I wrote before Ntozake Shange passed away. I had a really beautiful opportunity to spend a weekend with her, Sonia Sanchez, and the Last Poets in Florida. And we were sitting at breakfast. I spent these breakfast mornings with them that I will write more about. And I was laughing at something. And she said, oh, I used to love roller coasters. And I told her, I said, Ntozake, I used to be a roller coaster girl. And it just made me think about that girl that grew up in Detroit. And so this is called I Used to Be a Roller Coaster Girl. I used to be a roller coaster girl. 7 times in a row, no vertical in these skinny legs. My lipstick bubblegum pink as my Panther 10 speed never kiss. Nappy pigtails, no brand gym shoes, white line yellow short shorts, scratched up legs, pedaling past borders of hummus and baba ganoush, mosques and liquor stores, city chicken, pepperoni bread, and Superman ice cream cones. Yellow, black, blended with bits of Arabic, Islam, and Catholicism. My daddy was Jesus. My mother was quiet. Jane Kennedy was worshipped by my brother Mark. I don't remember having my own bed before 12. Me and my sister Lisa shared. Sometimes all 3 more girls slept in that queen. You grow up so close, never close enough. I used to be a roller coaster girl, wild child full of flowers and ideas, useless crushes on Polish boys in a school full of white girls. Future Black Swan singing Zeppelin, U2, and Rick Springfield, hoping to be Jesse's girl. I could outrun my brothers and everyone else to that recurring line. I used to be a roller coaster girl till you told me I was moving too fast. Said my rush made your head spin. My laughter hurt your ears. A scream of happiness, a scream of freedom pouring out my armpits, sweating up my neck. You are always the scared one. I kept my eyes open for the entire trip. Right before the drop, I would brace myself and let that force push my head back into that hard iron seat. My arms nearly fell off a few times. Still, I kept running back to that line. When I was done, same way, I kept running back to you. I used to be a roller coaster girl. I wasn't scared of mountains or falling. Hell, I look forward to flying and dropping off this earth and coming back to life every once in a while. I found some peace in being out of control, allowing my blood to race through my veins for 180 seconds. I earn my sometimes nicotine pull. I buy my own damn drinks, and the ocean still calls my name when it feels my toes near its shore. I still love roller coasters. And you grew up to be afraid of all girls who could ride fearlessly like me. So that's just a poem that I write. Oh, you put my website up. I love it. Thank you. And I want a poem. I do have lots of poems about being from this Black city, from Detroit. It is it's a different outlook on life. When I moved to New York, it was so interesting because New York was such a police state, and I had never seen that many white police in Black neighborhoods before. Because in Detroit, we do have Black police officers.
Right.
I mean, I went to high school with I get pulled over by people I know all the time. And that's community policing. That's when you have a police department that's actually hiring people who live in the city that they're policing.
Absolutely.
The way that it should be. But I wrote this poem, if you know, Cass Corridor, has been renamed Midtown, right? They just renamed that place. I went to Wayne State University for a period of time, and I was just a troublemaker at Wayne State. I don't know if I guess I studied some courses. I studied journalism. I really just was an activist and caused trouble and took over the university when I was there. I'm so proud to say. And thank you. So where are the people where are you based now? You're in Georgia. Are you
I'm in Georgia. Sorry?
Are you in Atlanta or?
No, actually I'm outside of Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love Savannah. Savannah. I like Georgia. I like the outskirts of Georgia. I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. I don't know if you know.
Okay.
But that's where my son King was born.
Okay.
And then we left. But I was there 7 years. I lived right off Cascade, off 285.
All right. I know there's some Georgia people in here. I know there's some Detroit people in here too.
Okay, hey Detroit. ATL is one of my other homes. That was on the tour. I'm gonna be doing something in Atlanta online virtually through the Hammond's house in Southwest. So but where are the people? I mean, that place has changed so much since I lived there. Atlanta definitely has. And Detroit, right under my nose. I'm just watching my city turn into something different. And then a lot of celebration around it, which really hurts. And I don't think on the people who are from those cities like Brooklyn or Harlem or people in places in the south side of Chicago, when you see your neighborhood's names, street names being renamed, and nobody asked you how you felt about it. And so this is called Where Are the People? For the bodies we can no longer locate. And it's for the people of Cass Corridor. And it's about my son King and I getting a pizza and had pepperoni on it. And we couldn't find anyone. We don't eat pepperoni. So we're trying to find someone to give a pizza to. And so back when I was at school, back in the day, we could find heroin people. People were hungry, homeless, all kinds of different people that make the neighborhood colorful. Like everybody, it's like, it's all like it's an extension of our community. Everybody is not in the same place financially, mentally, spiritually, and so they still matter, right? And so this is called Where Are the People, because we couldn't find anybody to give a free pizza to, and we rode around for a long time trying to find one. Where are the one-way tickets? Who signed the death certificates? Where are the magicians, the madmen, the toothless, the smoothless, the poets, the corner store prophets, the bus stop historians, the traffic stoppers? Where are the people? Where are the blues? Under which pile of gravel? Where are they buried? Hurricane Cast Corridor. Where is the soil, the socks, the shoes? Where is the soil, the socks, the soles, the shoes? Where is the heroin? Where are the pills? Where are the women? Where are the thrills? Where is Cast Corridor? My student asked. Is it a building? Is it this way? Is it that way? Your school is sitting in it. I answer you, is it? The dogs are walking the people. The dogs have parks. The parks don't have children. People, the stepped over, the forgotten Holocaust, the fragile, the beautiful, the fast talkers, the backward walkers, the 3 a.m. stalkers. Where do they take them? When will they return? Where is the balance? Where is the money? Where are the schools? Where are the people? We all got Wi-Fi. Nobody getting high outside. Where are the heads? Where are the beds? Where is their heads? Where are the recognizable street signs? Where is Joe Louis? Where are the Black people? My white neighbor asked me, Jessica, where are the Black people? Where are the chosen people? Where are our hearts, our guitars, our bass players, Kenny Mack, Anthony Tolson, rest in peace? Where are the anointed, the children of God? Where is the sage, the holy water? Where is the Black imagination located? How much does it cost per square foot to rent there? Is there a rent to own your Black imagination option? Where are the couples fighting in the alleys? Where are the purple flavor Mad Dog 2020 labels? Where are the needles? Where is the good time? Where did all these goddamn bike lanes come from? Where is the line to simply exist? Where is the painted line to live, to breathe? Where are the parks with swings? Where are the children supposed to live? Where are the children supposed to run? Where are the twilight teasers, the moonlight mythology makers? Where are the military vets are mentally ill? Where are the people? Where are the people? Where are the people? San Francisco, Oakland, Detroit, Chicago, Brooklyn. Do you know? Do you know, huh? Have you seen them? Did they all die so New Detroit could live? Did they all die so New Atlanta could live? Did they all die so New Chicago could live? Did they all die so New San Francisco could live? Where is your conscience? Where is this nonsense coming from? Where is humanity? Where are the people? Where are the people? The one-way tickets? The message is still in the bottle. Where are the indigenous? Where are the salt mines? Where are the people? Where are the people? Where are the people? When you find them, please tell them. I have an overpriced, gentrified cheese and pork pizza with their names on it. Tell them I'm writing for them so they won't disappear without a fight.
Right.
So that's that.
All right. Yes.
Wow. It's hard to have energy. I've never read this many poems sitting down. It's the strength.
Wow.
It's hard. I have to like stretch my leg and make sure that my blood is rushing because I'm so used to standing. I'm going to figure out a way to get my computer. Harlem. Come on. Yeah, man. Harlem is so crazy. I actually could afford Harlem at one time. I had a 3-bedroom on 159th and St. Nick. Ain't no way. That place is probably like $4,000. The minimum 3,000 something. 3 bedrooms. Yeah, it's like $3,000.
Wow. Well, I actually had a chance to visit Harlem a few years ago, and I noticed, I'm like, this is not the Harlem that I read about and all these things, coming up. So it was very different. And even the person that led us on the Harlem tour was not a Black person. So I'm like, okay.
That was the Jankley tour. That was not the tour. What's wrong with that tour guy? No.
And someone just asked, are they trying to rename Harlem? I think I heard something like that.
What they call it? They have one section they're kind of like so a boho. Harlem people ain't having that. We ain't.
That's right.
Yeah, that's they might give it the world though. We let them. Let me just say that they were giving names to the different areas. Because nobody. But now Harlem is cool. So Whole Foods is there and stuff. Oh, what's Street? I remember when the Disney store went there first, and then everybody that lasted a very short period of time because everybody was like, "Get Mickey Mouse off 125th Street, please." And so, so the poems we take an energy. So I'm going to balance that out with the poem. A lot of the poems in We Want Our Bodies Back I didn't realize it until after our homages. So I have one of my favorite poems in the book is to Sonia Sanchez, who I adore, who is 85 and fantastic right now. I'm very much in touch, and she's doing well in Philly. But also for Aretha Franklin, for Sonia Sanchez. I wrote a poem for Jeff Mills. I mean, there's lots of homages. And so, but this one, these are two of my favorite people in the whole world. And they're like my models for Black love, Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee. And I had that beautiful opportunity. I wrote a small poem for Ossie Davis and Sunlight Through Bullet Holes. I forgot the name of it, but it's about when I met him. We read at the Abyssinian Church in Harlem. We're reading slave narratives. So it was like a celebrity slave narrative reading of some sort. I don't know. I just know I was sitting next to Ossie Davis. I was looking at him like, oh my God. I was so nervous. I was like, what am I doing here? It was very scary. He knew that I was freaking out. I was absolutely freaking out that I was sitting next to him. Because I mean, it's Ossie Davis. I had to read. He read, I think, after me. He definitely was not first, but I went up and he could tell that I was freaking out. So I went up and I did my slave narrative. And I sat back down. I wish I would have talked to him more. But he was freaking out. And he nudged me with his elbow and said, "You're done good." And I was like, "Thank you." Because I just needed to maybe like, did I do good? Because that was my Ossie Davis moment. But Ruby Dee, I did know. And I did do readings with Ruby Dee, who I admired, of course, because she's one of the first great Black actors that looked like me that I could look at and go, Ruby Dee. She was just so Black, so fresh, so skilled. And so the interaction I had with her is in here. But this is about Dear Ossie, Dear Ruby. I wrote after her funeral. And I was in New York for Sonia Sanchez's birthday. And the funeral for Ruby Dee was the very next day. This is the 8th birthday of Sonia Sanchez. And I wasn't up for the funeral. So it's called Dear Ossie, Dear Ruby. Dear Ossie, dear Ruby, do you still put roses in her hair? Do you still draw the clouds and fluff them for her head? Is the sun still sleepy in his eyes? Is heaven a place along his chest? Are you sitting? Are you resting in a timeless embrace? Do you still make her laugh? Does it still matter? Do you hold her hands diamonds hidden inside palms from fingers? Is eternity inside his kiss? Do you tie his tie, adjust his chapeau? Do you dance in the morning? Do a Mary and Maya and Jane and Gil and Sekou visit to drink grapes and share stories? Dear Ossie, dear Ruby, some of us dare to be the exception, dare to be conductors of Black love. Do you still love to be still while the world travels at full speed? How glorious to watch our attempts to become the black doves you became? Do you still fly south for the winter, pick pecans, and eat sweet round cherries on a long wooden porch? Dear Ozzy, thank you for your kind words in Harlem when I nervously shared that Abyssinian church stage with you. Dear Ruby, thank you for your fearlessness and hard laugh in the lobby of the Schomburg. I slapped Denzel Washington, an American gangster. It wasn't in the script, you told me. I can hear your beautiful stutter, planned pauses land gracefully on your tongue, ego woman. The morning of your funeral, I spent the evening celebrating our sister, Sonia Sanchez's 80th birthday. I watched her and Baba Haki get in a car headed to Harlem. I was in so much pain from losing Amiri. I wasn't ready to bury another legend. Forgive me, dear Ruby, dear Ozzy. We know we are possible. We know we can be gazelles on a planet surrounded by wolves. Is his voice the sound of water? Is her smile the perfect moonlight? Do you remember when it was all a dream? Do you still love to get on your toes, to reach his nose, kiss his neck? Is she still your Juliet and a Spike Lee joint? Is he still the mayor, mother, sister? Dear Ozzy, dear Ruby, thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving each other. We marvel in your reflection. Thank you for your life work, for your voices and bodies as gifts. Now that you are true stars, do you know you were our greatest wish? So that's for Ozzy. And I'm going to turn on my lights because I'm 40. Hold on.
Okay.
Somebody read that. I'm like, let me turn my lights up. Why I shouldn't be struggling when I'm in my dining room.
Everybody, please feel free to drop some comments and tell us what you think. I know you're probably awestruck.
No, you have to talk to me.
Yes, talk to us.
I'm going to read something that I don't normally read. So this is just kind of a fun poem called The Magician's Mother. And it's really just, I write about love in the Scorpio kind of way that I do. But it's kind of about a guy.
Okay.
Let me look at it, make sure it's safe. Okay, yeah, I think it's safe to read it.
We did get a comment from Stacy. I know Stacy spent some time living in Detroit. Grew up in Detroit, I believe.
Hey, green. She looked beautiful. Her photo, yes. Thank you. Yeah, Ozzy and Dave is like, that's my Ozzy and Ruby are like, they're my models for getting it right. And I'm sure they didn't have a perfect relationship, but it just looks so pretty, Yeah,
it definitely did.
This is, I don't know. I don't even know if I should read it. I'm going to read it. It's like a love poem. The Magician's, my son does magic, King. He does a lot of things, but he's also a magician. So this is called The Magician's Mother. The Magician's Mother says, make him appear, love. Turn my legs into ladders. Ace of spades. This altitude is breaking my breath. Lean in and kiss his gangster, his unruly beard resting against your cheek. What's wrong with the woman who gets turned on by his willingness to take out the man near the passenger side window? Romance might need redefinition. Detroit definitely in the water of her blood. Alice Coltrane at midnight, driving up hills that only lead me to reality. She never wants to leave you. He leaves so honestly. In a poem, they make love countless times. In a poem, they are Black Bonnie and Clyde shooting mics and stealing ink for new pens. In a poem, Amiri Baraka is alive, giving them his blessing. Magician can't make fathers who call or soulmates who show up in correct decade. Hearts disappear from the deck. Somebody made the rabbit a late night snack. Poet decides to withdraw from the ongoing romance novel in her brain, draws herself a blues, plays a Robert Johnson record, decides he ain't gonna ever touch me. I know what electricity feels like from a cool distance. I am not half of a moon. 40 years from 50, doing the math on giving him a son. He is that beautiful, said my high heels. Wonder and smoky, just enough to make me want to inhale a clove again. Just enough to wrap this Supreme's Holy Ghost Motown sound round his waist. Hand clap replaces the rooster. She too chicken to tell his long arms to hold her. The most memorable moments are temporary. All those hours on the unnamed, renamed peninsula collided with a hell of a lot of magic, birthed a few new poems, no tricks, all in plain sight. So, sometimes a man inspires a poem. He was nice and tall. So, you know.
All right. We have another comment here from Marvis William Silvers, provoking, inspiring, and nudging my creative juices to flow.
Good.
All right.
Yes, well, and that if that's the case, if we have writers here, I do have a masterclass workshop I'm teaching right now, and I don't have enough women signed up. Yeah, it started today. It was quite amazing, but there's just not enough energy, and so we need more women. So I talked to my agent about helping out with the price. So if anyone's interested, just Marcy, you can give them my email address.
Okay.
Reach out to me, and I'll see what I can do about giving a discount for the workshop, because I'd rather have more energy than more money. I really would. And so we're at 2 hours for the next 3 weeks, every Thursday from 12 to 2. 2 chicken. I know. 2 chicken. You know they be knowing. They be knowing. He know. They know, and they know they doing stuff that's real sexy. Like I was talking about, there was I was driving with my friend who I'm writing about, and some kind of guy came up to the passenger side window saying something crazy to me. He leaned over me like he was gonna kill the man, and it just made me really.
Wow! That's
and I was like, something is wrong with me. Why did I like that? Because I can't help myself. So anyway, moving on. I'm going to read this. So this is called "I'm Not Ready to Die," and this poem. This poem is I wrote really to younger women in the entertainment industry or whatever, the younger women.
Oh yeah.
And I wrote the poem after I was told that there was a very famous singer, rapper, something artist at an award show crawling on the ground. And I got the call like, what was she doing on the ground? She was crawling around on the ground. And I'm like, when you got that much money, you know, I'm just like, how much money does it take? Like, I get it when you dancing, like you working for you, like that you have to. But if you don't have to, then what you okay. So this is called "I'm Not Ready to Die," because this is the poem that came out of that, which is much deeper than even getting that information. I set up, so I just used it to do this. I'm not ready to die. A little more today. My nails are polished a bright aquamarine. My skin smells like the ocean. In my hair, I'm wearing the flowers he left on my doorstep. Tiger's eye and turquoise are wrapped around my wrist. Do I look like I'm attempting an early death? My headphones sound like Sade. I wish these new girls would get the F off their knees and transform a room with some subtle power and grace. Sade doesn't really dance, poet, and that is the point. When did it become okay to die in this country on our knees? The Walking Dead, a 24-hour day spa. They parade in groups. Hell, I need a massage too, but at what price? I gotta stand behind mediocre bars just because the kids rock to it. I've yet to hear an MC destroy the alphabet more gangster than Entezaki, so I ain't ready to die today. Won't participate in the spirit massacre of our children. My throat is on fire. My pen is high. Entezaki is dead. Entezaki will never die. I'm more alive in my 40s than most of these wannabe Euro inside-out millennials. I've graduated from digital slavery masterclass. I read books without screens. I have sex with men my age or not whenever I feel like it. I love my hair, my ass, my breasts. I'm clear my power is between my ears, inside my chest. Black girl magic doesn't grow between our legs. This is the mythology of men. How much to get off your knees, sis? This pen is a knife, stabbing out the hearts of dead trees. These trees are already dead anyway. A walking dead urban forest. We are surrounded. So I continue to climb, to write, because I ain't ready to die today or tomorrow. I'm going to keep living inside poems you didn't know were left for you. If you would just get off the goddamn floor, you could see all these poems, all this royalty, all this world they attempt to kill you with is really your universe to inherit, to change, to rebuild. Get off your knees. Stop crawling for them. Stand up, Queen Latifah, Light, Lauren, Missy Elliott, Left Eye, Bahamadia, Rod Digger, Roxanne, Rhapsody, Kate Valentine, Mama Soul. Microphones are not stripper poles. Sonia, Audrey, Maya, Entezaki, Jane, Lucille, Nikki, Tony, Asha, Stacey, Anna, Kira, Mahogany, Elizabeth, Lisa, Michelle, me, us. We need you to stop dying to be less than who you were destined to be. We need you to outlive death in all its forms. We need you to outlive death in all its forms. Live, 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 so patriarchy can finally die.
Ooh. Yes. Yeah, that was one of the ones of many that I bookmarked. Like, yes, I mean, that's so true.
Come on now.
You know, your hip hop or, you know, whatever they call it nowadays is nothing like it used to be. It's all about the image and the image that is shared is not a positive one. So that's right on point.
It's not what's up. Oh, my email's there. Okay, that's just for this group, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
well, y'all grab it because I'm gonna take it back down just in case.
I don't want the stalkers to have it.
Right.
Stalkers. So that's for Brown Girl Book Club. It's all good. So I want to read something different. I'm really trying to. I really want to. Been wanting to read my piece for Debbie Thomas, but it's so extraordinarily long. It's so long, and so people just got to get the book. But it's an important story about that Black woman Olympic skater that needs to be talked about. I feel like I want to read I Can't Breathe because we talked about it. I'm gonna give it a whirl. It's a heavy piece to read. How much more time we get? We're good.
Well, we're good. We're good because we got a couple minutes late, so we're good.
I Can't Breathe. So this is it says remembering Eric Garner and Mike Brown. Poem written after my time spent protesting Ferguson with Talib Kweli, Rosa Clemente, and the Peace Poets. I'm in Detroit and I can't breathe. The air is being sucked out of my city. The poor don't have water and everything new means no niggas. I can't breathe. There is a smoking gun down my throat with promises of a post-racial America. I can't swallow the chamber. It is stuck in 1967 and it keeps reloading after it pierces the bodies of unarmed babies. I can't breathe because I'm being rushed on a sidewalk in the middle of a peaceful protest by a militarized police force in Missouri. They are yelling, I got one. I got one. I am half running, distraught, searching for Talib's hand. Rosa is a few steps ahead. The air is thick and ugly and dense and I can't breathe. I'm being forced to lie face down on the cement in Ferguson with an AR-15 pointed at my back. A long brown teenage boy is shaking in Rosa's lap. A young thick girl stands up anyway. I pull her back down and ask her to please wait. In Atlanta, a beautiful young activist tells me she's arrested at 6 p.m. and is driven around by officers till 2 a.m. before finally being booked with no explanation. We know who you are, they say, hoping to replace her breath with fear. And now she doesn't know how to tell her story of being kidnapped. She can't breathe. Who can push out fresh air in this country anymore? The rich, the corporation. We should all be choking to death from Fox News, processed food, and white supremacy. My 19-year-old calls me after hearing I am in Ferguson to ask me to please go home. And he hasn't lived with me in years. So I'm trying to figure out this geographic location of this place, home. The place we should feel the safest. And I'm wondering where all this rage has been. Because when you acknowledge race, you're called the racist. Mississippi, goddamn, Missouri feel hot as you. On Canfield, this young man smiles his gold at me. Beautiful, bright, and bravado. You from Detroit. You a poet. I saw you on the news. This is a place where Mike Brown's blood turned to roses. The stem legs of our boys long and racing, always swimming toward the sun. Easily tripped up, life interrupted. The ones who don't love you are armed. As much as we claim this is our land, the world minority is running our country. Our sweat, our women, our mothers, we birthed this nation, built it on free labor and death with no reparations, ray in sight. I need more insight on what this has to do with genocide. Everything. We are here with our choice. Many of us fatherless, some of us warm-blooded, West African, Dakota, Cree, Cherokee. We are a place with no place. We are natives, beautiful somewhere people, news flagpoles and crosses and so many more little girls plus those 4 we will never forget. We are Moors, portrayed as whores, criminals. We the children of royalty. We red clay goddesses. We down south forces. We the trees with rings of stories. I can't breathe. I'm home from a terrifying place. An Octavia Butler, past future, past live scars resurface. I can't breathe. My son is 4 years from 12. And the park is his own planet where he plays freely. And he knows a seed leads to flowers if you plant it. He loves Bob Marley, Faith Ringgold, and Frida Kahlo, walks with his head up and doesn't follow, recites Baraka, sings the blues. He thinks wearing a belt is cool. He is simply a black boy with an imagination built on a nation of poems and a mind that says, don't mess with me. Cable is a window luxury. So we don't get our information from the idiot box. I've already had to teach my son how to act when we're pulled over by the cops. He's seen them waving like my poems. He's seen them black and flirting, has to call me on the phone. He's seen them white in Dearborn Heights, accusing me of running a light. I did not run, mommy, but the policeman is lying. This is the reality too, son. When I can't breathe, I cry in a parking lot. dropping you off at hockey camp, praying the white coaches and white kids won't suck the beauty out of your lungs, pray you black ice skate fast past the chokeholds, the dangerous walks from the store to buy candy. I can't breathe, so I rush to get you from school daily. A collective mother's intuition always hears feels death moving around this winter in America clock. In these spaces where the air is thin, humanity is forgotten, and ancestral spirit is blowing hard, and fear has pushed you into a place you don't recognize. A forced language is pushed inside your mouth, whipped across your back along the Ivory Coast on a ship called Jesus, in the Congo, through the door of no return, in an Alabama cotton field, in Chicago, in Cleveland, in Staten Island. When you look the world in its face, after attempts to hijack your spirit, take your breath loosely for a Lucy. I will inhale God and blow my last wind into your body. Your exhale be the Holy Ghost for this land. I can't breathe. 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 I need some water.
Yes.
Thank you, Marcy.
All right. You're welcome. Well, this is one of the earlier comments that we missed, but it's true. Your spirit and personality are truly a blessing tonight. Thank you. All right.
I need
And Marvis, and for the people who are actually a member of the BGC Book Club, I will post the email in there again. This is also on the main Brown Girl Collective page where there are a lot more people. So if you want Jessica's information, either you have to look it up for yourself, or get it out of the group. So
I'm on Instagram. I'm on
right.
I'm very active on Instagram more than Facebook, and so you can catch me there more easily. And I'm on Twitter. So thank you, sis, or brother, whoever that is. I'm assuming, is it all women?
It should be primarily women, yes. Even though the other night we had some gentlemen on as well.
Thank you, yeah, Stacy. You already know, mother of sons. You know, that's why I'm a womanist. I did in my master class today. We're talking about womanism, and we're focusing on women writers. But I brought some of my brothers in there because depends on if they're protecting women, then I include them, and so that's
right.
As long as we're on the same page with it, it's all good. Ooh, that poem be taking stuff out of me. I'm gonna read something a little more quiet. I opened the book. I have an intro that's very personal, kind of about what we want our bodies back means to me, and it means something different to everybody. Everybody has a different interpretation of what they think it means. The title poem is for Sandra Bland, of course, who died in police custody. But I opened the poem. Thank you for keeping our voices alive and advocating for our past, present, future societal oppression. Thank you. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my best. You know, I came into this work very spiritually connected and knowingly connected to the Black arts movement and the Harlem Renaissance writers. And I think it's because I'm from a Black city, being from Detroit and raised very organically around Blackness and Black institutions, and knowing who Broadside Press was, and knowing who Dudley Randall was, and Gwendolyn Brooks, and understanding, you know, Black institution building inside of the literary arts, and poets that were connected to movement. Like Sonia Sanchez was on the front line of like African studies departments being created in this country for, you know, spoiled kids like me who came after, who like, oh, we can study African American studies. Like, no, somebody created those departments.
Right. They weren't always there.
And they're still not there enough.
Right.
And so I came into it real honest in that way. So, yeah, I felt like it's my job to make sure that I'm doing that work in extension of that work that my elders already been doing. And so this is called January 3rd, 1994. My father passed away in January 3rd, 1994. And he's on the cover of my first book. This is my little baby that I wrote in 1990. Came out in 1997. That's my daddy sitting on the bench.
All right.
He's talking with a white suit on, so you know he's from Alabama, okay? And only drove Cadillac. So that's just, you know, I'm his child. So January 3rd, 1994. So it's so deep because what we're dealing with in Detroit. It's just sad, but there's a wait at the funeral homes. Because they're backed up, right? So the bodies are waiting to be buried.
Wow.
So I remember it triggered me having this thought about my father and his death, and me wanting to go get my daddy out of Henry Ford Hospital, which is right up the street from my house. And so I open with this, we want our bodies back. And I start with my father because he's been such a great ancestor for me. And I continue to write about him and dedicate poems to him. January 3rd, 1994. I wanted to see my daddy's body. I wanted to see what they had done to him. Not the angels, not God. They didn't take him, I was convinced. He was thin and tall and Southern sophisticated, cool miles and Southern comfort next to his bed, smile that could capture the attention of women half his age. I laid down in his twin bed the morning he died. I wanted to find the grooves of his body inside the fabric so I could bury myself inside of what he left behind. A part of my body would always be dead after this day. I examined the house. That was never my house. I searched for clues. I rolled my eyes at the strange man who was walking around. I didn't trust him or his smell or his eyes. I didn't trust the woman who was my daddy's young girlfriend at the time of his death. I didn't trust many women after my daddy's body left Detroit. I wanted to see him. Why can't we see him? Henry Ford Hospital had his body somewhere. I forever hate hospitals. The doctor told my brother Johnny it would be better to just wait until he was prepared for the funeral. We left my daddy's body with these strangers. My brother didn't notice, but I was screaming. No one noticed, but I was flying. I was kicking the doctor in the gut and running down the white doorways to find my daddy's body so I could bring him back home with me. So just, speaking of loss, it's a great poem by Lucille Clifton, actually. Learning how to deal with all this loss has been. Let me know when I have like 5 or 6 minutes, so I want to close if we want our bodies back.
Okay.
So just make sure so I can have a little time to end with that one. It's probably like
yes, absolutely. Okay. And you would like to maybe read one more, and then you can go into that one.
Okay, got you. So what do I want to read then, so I can close over? You read what you want to hear. You read the book.
Oh, Lord. Child, you can't see it, but I have so many things marked. Oh, goodness. Let me see.
I love the poem for Sonia. Are you a Sonia Sanchez fan? Do you read her work?
I am. That's
poems that I've written.
Well, that one's kind of long. Because I was going to say gratitude is a recipe for survival, but that one's long.
Yeah. It's a long year. It's a goodie though. It's a good
Go for it. You know what? I know what people say. We don't have nothing better to do. Go for it.
Gratitude
go for it.
Survival. It's relevant to right now because it's
it is.
And God is not an American. My third book, I wrote this poem called the DHS poem number 7. It's about the welfare office. Because I hate the DHS office, and now I'm like, yo, it's so deep though. That's what COVID-19. This thing has brought things to the light that should have already been in the light. And one thing is a self-employment insurance, which is something that I'm fighting to get self-employment right now because I'm an employed person as a poet. And but I've needed that several times. And because I'm not set up to support people like me whose full-time job is this, they don't consider it a job. My job is my job. And so the DHS poem number 7 was about me coming home with King and not having any support and needing to get a bridge card or somewhere. I needed some food. I was nursing. I was like, my grandma was like, you need to go get some help. But what they put you do just to get that $5, they make you feel horrible, right? And so it was a good learning experience for me. So I reworked the poem into gratitude as a recipe for survival and reshaped it to think about what's wrong with healthcare in this country. And that's what we're dealing with right now. So funny that nobody believed in socialism. Everybody anti-Bernie Sanders. They're anti-social. They don't want to be socialists, but now everybody is. All these folks who are out of work, they're like, give us our money. Give us some food for our children. Give us, oh, really? Are we socialists now? We believe that we should help the people that pay taxes? You think you think maybe the working class and the middle class folks need some help? Now that everybody's in the same boat, but when it was them, they didn't care. They just look at welfare, like welfare moms, and look down at poor folks who need some help when they're simply just trying to take care of their children and put food on the table like everybody else. And so That's what this is about. Gratitude is a recipe for survival. And it's also a dedication to some of the really strong people in my life, real people. She is the woman in yellow, in her kitchen full of teas and fresh herbs. She is cutting celery for soup, and a slow fire warms a broth that will leave her doctors in awe. She is cancer-free and more fierce than she was when there were two breasts to define her as woman, arms stretching daylight so the nights feels less heavy. She has decided to live, despite the post-traumatic stress racing the veins of so many of us warriors, survivors, artists, who break poems in half for decades to feed an audience, but must budget food for our children. Self-care is not a catchphrase. It is simply what is necessary when you aren't poor enough for federal welfare or too rich to realize the pharmacy is not the answer to all your darkest fears. Some mothers just need to be prescribed some sleep, or the power to fight against the chemical waste polluting the air of low-income neighborhoods. Magic blue Black women who turn 25-floor project hallways into endless playgrounds for princesses and pigtails, whose deferred dreams turn every corner, defy gravity, and define possibility. 1 part honey, 2 parts ginger. A grandmother carries nearly 20 grandchildren in her eyes. She would not be easily moved by the lead infesting her reality, the poison water she has been cooking her grains and bathing her Flint babies in for years. She is conjuring the chefs of gutted pigs, the salted seasoning of slavery, the ancient healing remedies of moonlit daughters and twilight fathers who decide they would not die today. The courage of thousands of displaced Black American HIV positive teens fighting for their lives without shelter from a pandemic, no church, no place to provide adequate health care or safety from stigma, pushing for resources and representation in a country where health care is only for those who can afford it, not the ones we can no longer afford to lose. A dash of cayenne, a squeeze of lemon. An American toothache laughs at the sugar tax of San Francisco. Comedy is a consistent remedy to boosting our fragile immune systems. Where you live determines if you are treated and how you are treated. Still, here I stand, metaphorical daughter of Robeson, holding my 11-month-old son in the arms of the DHS office. The student from University of Michigan recognizes me in the line despite my baseball cap and jogging pants, turns to me and says, we are studying your books in our English class. The homeless man gives my son $1. I am hiding, hoping to not look like I'm doing well. Doing well doesn't go with the chairs in this office. I'm thankful and embarrassed. The same day I was booked for a show in Paris, asked to deliver a keynote at another college, my son's health insurance was canceled by the state, and the preschool says I owe them $3,000 before my son can continue in the new year. The daycare lady is asking me if I have a job again. I'm a famous poet and writer. I performed all over this country, Europe, South Africa, Brazil, Ghana. Remember me? I was on the cover of the New York Times. My poems are alive on the 4th floor of the National Museum of African American History in Washington, D.C. I'm on display, always on display. Exactly what does being a legend pay? I need some W-2s for this life. This is madness, I tell myself. In order to receive help from the state, you have to be working. My writing is my work. I can't have my son 24 hours a day and write and create new work. Question marks float on top of the head of the caseworker. Herbie Hancock plays in the background. Never leave your music at home. Never leave your music at home. They only play the TV on one station in the lobby, the Sci-Fi Channel or something. Sometimes there are cookies full of M&Ms. King, don't touch the cookies, baby. King, don't touch them cookies. I made up a job because my job is not a job. I made up a job because my job is not a job. And apparently told them I make too much money that doesn't really exist. So now I'll be allocated $12 a month for food. Art is a thankless job. Weldon Irvine, who co-wrote To Be Young, Gifted, and Black, would whisper in my ear at the Schomburg in Harlem before he killed himself a few years later. Thankless, thankless, thankless. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Joni Mitchell and Nina Simone to drown out these moments. Thank you, Imani, Sate, Stephanie, Tammy, Angie, Charlotte, and even Beyonce for that song, If I Were a Boy. Thank you, angels, past lovers. Thank you, patience. Thank you, bravery. Thank you, peace, resistance. Thank you, Most Def, for telling me it was honorable to live my life, travel the world. When people ask me what I do, I simply say, I'm a poet. Thank you, Talib Kweli and Sonia Sanchez for friendship and activism. Ozzie Davis for that album, nudge in my arm and your smile. Thank you, Nana, for buying coats and uncles for shoes. More family. I have more family. I was born a more. I'm headed to LA for some shows. I got to stop crying and write this poem, but this is not a show. This is my life, God. This is my gift. Got a gig in London while I was writing this next month's rent. Thank you, Daddy. God, ancestors, past lover, present lover, got your text, baby. I'm okay. Poems. This is what I have to give. I'm eating poems today. I'm thankful. I'm humiliated. I'm embarrassed. I'm surviving. I'm writing. Dick Gregory just died. Ruby D just died. Mitty Baraka just died. Jane Cortez just died. You can't stop us. You can't stop us. No, you can't stop us. You can't stop us. No, love is healthcare and gratitude is a recipe for survival. This is my job, damn it. This is my job, you know. We are mothers. Give us our checks. We are mothers. Give us our checks. I'm a mother. Give me my check. Amen. 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 Always honey, always sweet. A poet, a woman in yellow mixed with apple cider vinegar. A grandmother in Flint dicing garlic with prayer. A beautiful boy in Harlem sipping hot green tea. A princess born into poverty baking poems inside peach pies. You can't find them. You can't find me. You can't find them. You can't find me. We are busy outliving our circumstances. We are in Zaki's kitchen boiling a fearless soup of survival for colored girls. We are busy confusing your paperwork with real life. My lover says he speaks to me in real life. The internet is an illusion. Healthcare should not be an illusion. People are addicted to illusions, though. Thankless, thankless world. Not me, 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 not me. Woo! That was a lot.
Yes, it was. Yes, right on time though.
Oh my goodness, my voice
is like so
yeah.
But there's so much truth in it.
Real. It's so real. It's so real. Can I give people my Cash App if they want to donate? And I'm taking donation.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm completely self-employed and unemployed, basically unemployed right now. And so you can support by, you have a place to buy the book. Is there a link for them to buy the book from you?
Yes, I'll drop all that as well.
People can buy the book from but I don't sell the book. But you can go to jessicakidmore.com to get vinyl there, to get Sunlight Through Bullet Holes. You can get We Want Our Bodies Back t-shirts. And if you want to send something on Cash App, it's Black Women Rock. Thank you. It's $sign Black Women Rock on Cash App. So yeah, you want to send something towards the gas lights and whatever.
Right.
You're taking all of that.
Right. Because I mean, and you know, when I picked that one, I wasn't even thinking because there were so many that I enjoyed, but you're right. You know, right now the arts are so important. And, you know, a lot of us, most of us would not be surviving without the arts, you know, whether it's watching Netflix or, you know, listening to the music in these battles that are going on, or, you know, the music that DJ D-Nice is playing is something that someone created. So, I mean, artists and creatives are very important at all times.
We are.
At all times.
A lot of us are working, especially the independent ones, are tirelessly for not a lot of money, if nothing at all. And so I appreciate the platforms, but I am like very open about saying, hey, support the artists. And some of the institutions that do have money have been offering small honorariums. I mean, things that I would turn down in real life, but because of the dire straits that I am in and people are in, I'm accepting honorariums. And so, but this is good because this helps book sales. And so even though, of course, I don't get the money from the book sales because it's HarperCollins, that's way down the line. But the more books I sell, the better it is for me. And I'll go, you know, I'll sell them another book and show them that a Black woman poet can sell books on their press. And that's important as well. So
absolutely. Well, I'm going to ask you one last question before you read your last poem. And actually, we touched on it just a second ago, actually, and it comes off of what you were just saying. We all know that Nina Simone said that an artist's duty is to reflect the times. And as an artist and a supporter of other artists, what suggestions do you have for creatives during this unprecedented time in our history?
Well, I say, first of all, be more like Nina Simone. I'm a Nina Simone kind of activist as an artist. Like she is her songs separate the chapters of my book. So, you know, I love her, and her story is incredible. And the decisions she made as a woman and as an artist, you know, turned against her in many ways, right? The things that made her great and things that often make us great are the things that in the time that you're in it, people don't appreciate it until you're no longer here. And then you realize why that she really sacrificed for our people. And so I love that you even brought a Nina Simone poem up. I mean, there's so much for us to consider right now. And because I'm in Detroit, where we are only 14% of the Michigan population and 40% of the people who are dying from COVID-19. That we have to reevaluate our health. Our health is we have a serious, but it's a lot. Health is connected to education and it's also connected to access to resources. So we have to figure out how to better take care of ourselves inside of our own communities. And I know that, I'm not saying that we should segregate, but we need to be self-reliant. And even if we're in integrated neighborhoods, we know that resources are integrated. Schools are not even integrated. The integration lie is a lie. It's a lie, actually, not integrated. Because I know, because my son goes to these schools. People pay to have their kids around white people. Like, I mean, that's what they feel like. That's what means you're going to a better school because you're around a bunch of white kids. And my son got traumatized by a school that was like that in 7th grade. I thought I was making a good decision. And it was the worst decision of my life. So just becoming like, but I'm in Detroit and I have very few choices of where to school my child besides my home. And he's doing very well now because he's home with me. So his grades are where they should be now because all of that the problem that people have with Black boys and their energy is no longer there. I got my Black son. And so we have to be self-reliant. And the thing that Malcolm X, one of my other heroes besides Nina, self-reliance, self-determination. You don't got to hate any other cultures, but if you got to take care of your own because they're taking care of theirs, their kids got access to healthcare in ways that, even my son is, being in a single woman, mama household, still very privileged compared to many of the kids in Detroit schools who now have no school because they don't have no internet and they ain't got no smartphones. They tried to go online with school. They couldn't. They had to just pass the kids, which means that unless you have a parent at home like me who could facilitate a home school thing, which is hard for anybody. People, my friends who got degrees and stuff and whatever, they still, balancing homeschool is hard, right? So we have a lot of work to do. We have to love each other better. We have to share information better. Everyone's getting this information about like they ain't never heard of black seed oil before. If people don't know what eucalyptus is, you know what I mean? Y'all know who Queen of Food is. And so when you're privileged, right, to information, because I'm privileged to know who Queen of Food is. Like I have to understand that that's a privilege, but we have to stop making that a privilege. And we have to take organic back. Like things like that. Like organic don't belong to white folks. Organic gotta belong to Black women. We are the thing that's organic. Like we have to remember that. So what we're eating, what we're feeding our children in every way, we just got to become a people, is what Tango Eisen Martin, my dear poet friend, said once. And he said, we got to become a people, really become a people. But I think self-reliance, and I'm healthy. My son is healthy, but we were already healthy. That's why we're healthy. We've already taken care of ourselves. His health, I've been his doctor. My mother can't, she wanted mom straight to he get cough, go straight to the doctor. Oh, no. I got it. And I get rid of it. My son don't get colds, knock on all the oak. We staying away from this mess. But a lot of my friends have not survived it. And a lot of my friends who are sick did get past it, who were in decent health. They got past it. So we really got to evaluate self-care and self-reliance, and really getting back to like taking care of community. I mean, I've had bread dropped off to my house 3 times by 3 different sisters, who are making bread with they mates. And I'm like, well, we should always be dropping bread off to the porch people. Like, like this is a new thing. I'm like, well, why don't we look out for each other in this way anyway? Right. Like, if we make it, we bake it. Let's make sure that we're sharing food, and resources. So I think that's what it is for me. It's become like a deep reflection on what I need to do better at, how I need to share information better. I mean, I preach to my family, but they don't listen to me. But maybe they do now. Now they doing their little thing in the pot. I said, oh, okay, y'all do that now. Eat this, kick the meat out your diet. My son's been vegetarian his whole life. He's 13. So I raised him vegetarian. He eats now. He wants wild caught salmon. So we've been very, not perfect, but health conscious and aware of what we're putting in our bodies. And so, yeah, I guess that's a long answer to your question.
Well, I appreciate it. And actually, it's a good segue into we want our bodies back.
Yeah, we want our bodies back, right? So this poem was written for Sandra Bland, and it's definitely a mouthful. And it's about Sandra Bland, but it's also about what happens to women whose names we don't know, who die in police custody. And it's about, it's about that first slave ship that hit the shore. It's about wanting our everything back. So when I go into it, you'll see that because it starts with, it's about Sandra Bland, but it's also just about us as a people and my frustration with wanting to take everything that they took from us back. And yeah, so if Black women could be cut down, no, removed gently from American terrorism, who would break our fall? Which direction will we travel to feel safe? Wild is the wind. If we could turn in this skin, these sharpened bones, this brain full of power and history, who would we resemble? Invisible doesn't come in Black. How many nervous breakdowns? How many funeral black dresses? How many fibroids? How many nooses? How many of our bodies must be raped, cut into pieces, burned inside garbage bags, buried? How many of us blossom a beautiful tree of life and pray their pride isn't cut down the middle, reduced to trunks? Or a close friend doesn't die climbing their limbs, attempting to simply grow outside the gritty soil they were planted. I put a spell on you. Holly hobby ovens, Girl Scout cookies, and Barbie dolls. Don't prepare our revolutionary daughters born with capes and wings to have a pig's knee pushed into their backs. Girls raised by wolves taught to disappear, to be quiet, to not talk about it. How much Black breath is allowed space in the state of Texas, a place that has sucked the life out of countless, miscounted, uncounted, brown, poor women die here. I got life. Sandra Bland got the death penalty for a traffic stop. Her body was 28 years young. How to make sense of our bodies. Bodies burnt by cigarettes. Bodies smoked out their own neighborhoods. Bodies with abandoned lungs and hearts. Bodies mistaken for women when they are still girls. How to construct a survival guide, a poem for our daughters' bodies without throwing up our breakfast. How do our mothers' bodies not implode after telling our sons to comply, to not speak, to keep your heads down, to allow their bodies to be dragged by racist police? Jim Crow ain't never flown with this much wingspan. Eagles running for safety now, for the reach is deep in southern and Midwest, shadows the east, lands in the west. Texas, you will always be Mexico in denial. Poet Ron Allen asked for his body back in 1996, and we are still waiting. We want our bodies back. We want our bodies back. We want our bodies back. We want them returned to mothers without blood, without brains exposed, without humiliation, without bruises, without glass, without fire. We want our bodies back. We want our cities back, our culture back. We want our land back, our streets back, our freedom, our justice. We want our bodies back. We want our bodies back. We want our bodies back. We want them wrapped in white silk. We want them paraded around the White House. We want those flags you stand up for at baseball games at half mast. We want national holidays to honor our bodies, our knees, our prayers, our ears, our genitals, our eyes, our fingers, our feet. We want 21 gun salutes when we enter a damn room. We want our bodies back. We want them anointed in oils. We want them worn around your neck. We want them remembered. We want them worship on Sunday. We want our magic you try to bottle. We want our essence you attempt to steer. We want our elegance, our sex, our walk, our cool, our recipes, our intelligence, our science, our stars, our history. I want my Moroccan nose. I want my holy water breasts. I want my Maasai legs. I want my alien arms. I want my Ivory Coast mouth. I want our breath back. I want our time back. I want your foot off our girls' backs. I want all your badges back. I want you to evaporate into dust like swatted moths. Don't cut me down from the noose. Let my legs dangle for the devil. What a spectacular magic show. Why you turn the cameras off? Why you turn the cameras off? This is a simple ballet. You got front row. This is your venue. This cell, this hole is no one's home. Is no place for a woman to die. You probably never heard of Judith Jameson, Catherine Dunham. Oh, we know how to get our legs in the air. We know how to elevate, use our bodies to tell a story of middle passage, of survivals, of lynchings. You have always left our bodies under your control. Don't you touch me. Don't you take me down. Don't touch my body. Don't touch my music. Don't touch my patience. Don't touch my car door. Don't come near my window. Don't talk to me in that tone. This body of work got work to do. I'm resurrecting my body in new forms daily. Watch for me in your deepest sleep. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Listen for my songs. Watch for my walk. Listen for my voice, my Black girl attitude. Watch my body resist your death trap. Watch me rise. Watch my rebirth. Watch us rise up from this new Jim Crow, from these new unspoken apartheid laws. We want our bodies back. We want our bodies back. We will take them, protect them, remember them, remind you. Remember you, Sandra Bland. We will never forget your brown body, your mind, your pride, your spirit, your love, your vow to do God's work. We want your drive from Illinois to Waller County back. We want all our daughters back, and we want them back now.
Yes.
Woo. Oh my goodness, I'm done. I'm taking a break from poems for a couple of days after that.
Yes. I know.
I don't think it's the truth.
Drop some comments in the box so we can share them up so Jessica can see how much we love her.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for doing this. I really do thank you for doing it, because I'm one of those people who had actually pre-ordered the book. So
you got it. Some people pre-ordered and still haven't received it. So
oh wow. Okay.
But they
so all right. Well, we have your website up, and you've already mentioned that we can find you.
Oh yeah, on Instagram. I have a Tuesday night show on Instagram at 7:00. I bring on 5 people. Yes, Sandra Bland, say her name. And at 7:00, and my Instagram is just Jessica Kilmore. It's just my name. I'm pretty active on Instagram. You want your badges back? Yes, Lee Smith, and you know we do. Come on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for allowing me space to share, you know.
Absolutely. Well, I have been a fan for a long amount of time. Actually, on the Brown Girl Collective page, I have shared the poem that people began to know you by.
Black Sex for Liberty.
Yes, I've shared that over the years. So yeah,
that's in this book. That's the 1997.
Okay, so yeah,
I think I was 19 or 20 years old.
Okay. So yeah, and for those who may not remember it or whatever, I'll post it up as kind of a throwback Thursday, flashback Friday, whatever the case.
I have a big old dookie braid. I got my own hair now. My wrap skirt. I was so African centered. I came on just as myself.
Right. Well, we definitely appreciate you. Yourself is the best way to be, and we appreciate that. So I want to thank you again for coming on and joining us. You have the information. You all buy the new book, buy the older books. I know a lot of things are kind of on lockdown right now, but are there any, plans for like Black Women Rock in Detroit? What's going on with that?
We're booked to we're supposed to headline African World Festival August 15th on the water in her plaza. That hasn't been canceled yet. So, God willing, I think we may be one of the first big things. I'm actually I had a concert with Roy Ayers in July scheduled. I don't know if that's canceled, but right now, Black Women Rock African World Festival is supposedly on until so.
Let's hope so. Let us pray.
BlackWomenRock.com. People can check. So when it goes, I'll make the announcement there for sure first, and I'll post on all the pages. But thank you so much for having me.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I like in crowd. I could be in your club.
Yes, you're in the club. So I'm going to go ahead and release you to go get some rest and get some water and replenish and all those things that you need to do. And I'm going to finish up with the folks here just with a few announcements. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We'll see you again soon.
Giving me energy via like telepathy and
right. The digital energy.
And I can share this later. I'll be able to share it on my page.
Absolutely. It's on the Brown Girl Collective page, but also if you like, I'll be able to download and just send the whole thing to you that way as well. So all righty then. Well, thank you so much.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everyone who joined us tonight. And it seems like I have a certain amount of time planned, and it always seems to go a little longer, but that's okay because we're getting into some good stuff. And I just want to thank you all for being here. As I've just posted up, I want you to save the date for our next live discussion that will be not only in the BGC Book Club, but also on the Brown Girl Collective Facebook page. And that is a conversation with Dr. Rita Walker, who is the author of the new book, The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. That's going to be actually 2 weeks from today, on May the 14th at 8:00. Mental Health Month is Mental Health Awareness Month is May. So I thought it would be great to have someone come on and just kind of talk to us about our mental health. I mean, it's important at all times, but especially in this time, a lot of us are going through some things with that, or we know people that are. So I'm bringing on Dr. Rita so she can talk to us and, just give us some insight into the whole process of mental health and how to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in that manner. So there's that. If you are a member of the BGC Book Club, actually, I'm going to throw that information up right now because you may or may not be. I saw some folks join while we were talking, but of course, I didn't want to interrupt to do that. So if you send a request to join, I will get those in a moment. But if you're not a member of the BGC Book Club, please go ahead and join us there. If you are a lover of books and reading, on this coming Monday, we'll be doing our first book discussion, which is Terry McMillan's latest book, It's Not All Downhill From Here. That will be on Monday at 8 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and have that conversation about that book, and there'll be other books forthcoming after that. Those book discussions will be only within the book club. So if you like to read and you want to have an opportunity to talk about those books, you do need to join the book club for that. So that's all I've got for now. Anybody have any questions? Are all hearts and minds clear? Anything I need to address before we leave? Those in the club, I will put Jessica's information in there if you're interested in that class that she was talking about. If you'd like to get in on that, I'll make sure that her email is there so that you can get that information. So, all right, well, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you again for your patience. Thank you for hanging in with us a little bit longer this evening. And I look forward to seeing you in this digital space real soon. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones around you, your loved ones, and just be well. I thank you and have a good night. Bye-bye.